Gaming for science!
And gaming for money!
This is Screenplay News. It's fun, isn't it? You do feel a bit gangster.
Yeah, but imagine if there was actually money here and it's not just like a wet palm.
My palm's not wet.
Oh.
It's Friday the 14th of July. I'm Steph.
And I'm Nick, and here's what we've deemed newsworthy.
A new search for real-life planets has begun. EVE has just launched Project Discovery. Earlier this year, it was announced that developer CCP Games, maker of MMO EVE Online, had teamed up with the University of Reykjavik and the University of Geneva to help develop a minigame called Project Discovery. Well, it has officially launched. The minigame allows players to contribute to the scientific community by helping to discover real-world exoplanets. This is so cool!
What is an exoplanet?
An exoplanet is just a planet that exists outside our solar system.
So every other planet is an exoplanet.
Pretty much.
That means we're an exoplanet for a planet outside of our solar system.
Outside of...
like a planet outside our solar
Like-
system looks at us and it's like, look at that exoplanet.
Yeah, that's
with
right.
all those people on it making digital content. So how does this work in game?
Okay, so basically EVE have uploaded real astronomical data from an actual space observatory. And players can explore this basically from their ship in the game.
Right.
And anytime any of the players reach the same conclusion about the data's classification, then they'll send it back to the university so they can analyze it and maybe like explore it further.
So if I just rocked up to a bit in space and I was like, there's aliens here, and no one else said that, then they'd be like, ignore that data. But if 100,000 players went, we actually think there's aliens here, guys, this is scary, then they'd be like, Geneva would go, we need to look into this further.
Yeah, and it's cool the way gamers are being crowdsourced in this way for the good of, you know, human advancement. They've been involved in like serious medical discoveries before.
Yeah, the folding at home PS3 stuff.
Yeah, amazing.
Except for me, this is cooler than folding at home because it's actually something you can do in-game. It's giving you something to do as a task rather than just leaving your PS3 on overnight to suck up all your house's power. Moving on, and the Dota 2 international prize pool is now the largest in esports history. Dota! It's like Daytona, just without the end. At the time of recording, the total sits at $20.8 million, and there's still about a month left for Gaben to bleed us all dry. This is already $100,000 beyond last year's total, the former largest prize pool in esports history.
Where does it end?
Where does it end? I mean, it has to end. I saw some articles a couple of months ago where they said, oh, this one isn't gonna make it. This is the end of Dota. I was like, if the end of Dota is reaching $20 million in prize money, I mean, like, that's a pretty good end.
I wonder if our generation's child stars are gonna be just like young esports competitors that win so much money that it drives them crazy, and then they, you know, end up like having crazy off the rails lives.
You mean that the new Macaulay Culkin is Samael from Evil Geniuses?
The new Lindsay Lohan is like
Samael from Evil Geniuses.
Samael from Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, I mean, totally. Well, like when he's winning a few million bucks a tournament, for sure. Lots of this is crowdsourced, obviously. Most of it is crowdsourced. And it's coming from the compendium that they release in game. And I think the key to this is that the compendium is something you buy in game and it gives you challenges and rewards and stuff. And every year they get more complex as well, to the point where it could almost be its own standalone thing. You could just download this as a game, and there's so much in there that you could just pick up that even without the Dota part, and it would still be really interesting.
To you.
Well, to me, and to Pete. Mainly me and Pete is really interesting. But this, right. This is how bad it is. I have not actually played Dota in a couple of months because I just do not have the time. But I bought the compendium and I bought levels so that I could get the special underwater map for Dota. So that means I spent like, I think I spent $100 to get a skin for a map for a game that I'm currently not playing. That's how much of a grip it has.
But I feel like game hoarding is a real thing, because there's people that have like tons of games in their Steam library that they pick up in sales and stuff that they will just never touch.
Yeah, we are scumbags and we're responsible for whatever's gonna happen when EVE takes over.
In other news, game hosting and distribution site itch.io has updated its refund policy in the wake of scammers taking advantage of their open marketplace. Wicked, nasty people have been uploading fake games to the site to con people out of their hard-earned cash. The updated policy stresses that itch.io will process refunds on request if the purchased item cannot be run, some other issue prevents access to it, or the product does not represent what was advertised. Can't get a refund on all those Dota hats you bought though.
Don't want a refund, they'll take away my map. The Pokemon Company has dropped a mysterious tease for a bigger announcement coming early next week. The teaser calls back on the series' strange lore and hints that we may be about to discover a secret link to aliens and a deeper understanding of the unknown, those useless Pokemon shaped like letters and symbols. All will be revealed on July 19th. And of all the people in this room, only Pete is excited.
Peripheral giant Logitech is snapping up one of the biggest names in console headsets, Astro. In an effort to expedite growth in their gaming division, Logitech will acquire Astro Gaming for $85 million in August. And soon they'll own anything that you can put on your head. Except Dota hats, because Gaben owns those.
On other screens, Ben Affleck's script for the next Batman film has been thrown out. Director Matt Reeves said they're not using Affleck's story and are instead, quote, just starting again. So to clarify, Affleck has gone from director, writer, and star of Batman to writer and star of Batman to now just star of Batman. And tabloids are reporting that even this is in doubt, as Warner Brothers have been meeting with this television personality as a potential Batman replacement. But if he does lose his job to this wooden performer, at least he could still be Batman in VR, where the mask will hide the deluge of tears.
Some serious news today. That's actually it for today's news, but we'll see you on the internets real soon. From 3:30 PM, we'll be answering some of your questions live on our Facebook page. Come along and ask.
And we will answer some of them. You ask a lot of questions. And also, while you're on our Facebook page, enter the competition. All you have to do is make this table die and read the terms and conditions in the post. And you can win yourself an Asus monitor thanks to EvaTech. I'm Nick.
I'm Steph.
And we'll see you every weekday for the rest of your lives.
For now, we're going to leave you with something you can never have unless you're in Japan.
It's an arcade VR Mario Kart that is only in Japan. I want it. Do we reckon the main villain is Rick Moranis?
Is that from Rick and Morty?
No, it's from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, right.
Little Shrunk Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it could be Tiny Rick. Tiny Rick!